Hello guys, welcome. Give me just 1 second. I'm finishing the setup right here and I just need to connect my tablet. I'll be on in just 1 second. Sorry for the wait. Working with my tablet on my laptop and my little kid, Emma. You lost my pen. I don't know where my pen is. Thankfully, I have a replacement. I'm gonna have to look for the other one soon. How are you doing, guys? Good morning. Good night. Let's play some music here. There we go. RG3D Art, hello my friend. Hello. Got a lot of very cool announcements today. We're gonna be working a little bit on ZBrush. Let me know if the music is at a good level, if it's too high or what. Hey Sergio, how are you my friend? Amal, hi. Daniel, Hamza, hello guys. Use back sound The Witcher for chill. I don't want to risk it. I'll look up I'll look it up because some of the music, if you use it, even though it says it's copyright free, it's not. So then we get like a copyright claim, and those could eventually become copyright strikes, and that's very dangerous for the channel. I listen to your, of course, dude, Daniel. I listen to everyone's comments. It's just I'm new in this sort of stuff. Well, not completely new. I've been doing this for a couple of years, but I'm continuously learning. So yeah, I do listen, my friends. I do listen. Model thumbnail right there at the beginning to begin the live stream, right on the wait. Burhanuddin, how are you, my friend? Hello, Deborah. Hello, Sefter. Hi. Havercon, hello. Yeah, you like my collection? I got almost all of them. Who was that? Randomly Doodles. I'm missing just Trinket, the bear. I think that was like a special. Good Funko. That was a special edition. It's really expensive now. Look at that, $47. Way too much. And it's out of stock. This is the last one from the collection that I'm missing, but it's a special series. So, but yeah, I got all of these guys right here. The full set. Good morning. Do you have Bex or the Broom? No, I don't have that one either. I have the vase set. This guy's right here. Like all of the, I think it's the it's the vase set. Yeah. Have they announced if they're gonna be doing the season 2 Funkos? I would like to get those as well. But anyway, guys, would I have got an advantage in this mechanical creature contest? No, Paras, because it was not a mechanical creature contest. It was a whimsical creature contest. So it was supposed to be what's the word, like magical, cute, friendly, that sort of stuff. The submissions were closed yesterday or 2 days ago, and I'm gonna be sharing the results for tomorrow's video. Okay, tomorrow's video is gonna be the results and the winners for this whimsical creature creation. Today, I want to work on a very cool little project that I have right here. Let me show you. So, as you guys know, I have a very good friend of mine who's working with me now. His name is Isaias, and I've been training him. He's doing his internships from school with me, and one of the things that I asked him to do was there's a worm, like a giant worm for sculpting. It was a good practice, and he did this, which is not bad. It's a really good result. I like the pose. It's a really cool pose. But we're gonna be doing a couple of changes to this whole creature to make it a little bit better, and that's the topic of today's stream. It's like, how can we make this even better, right? So no, don't worry randomly. I'm gonna see if I can find it here in Mexico. Sometimes they go in offer. So where I find female character concept art, you can of course Google it, RG 3D art, because if you are looking for a specific female type of content, you can go right there. Now, before we start with this, guys, I just want to make a quick announcements. As you saw the initial like thumbnail, we just released, and that's the video for today on the channel if you haven't seen it, we just released the newest course, which is the mechanical creature making for production. It's this lion right here. It's called the Guardian, the Savannah Guardian. And it's a very cool course, 20 hours of full production pipeline of how to get from zero, absolutely zero, all the way to this guy right here. And I wanted to make this a special stream, not only to talk to you guys, of course that's my main goal, but also to let you guys know that we have a 90% discount. We're gonna have a 90% discount for the next 5 days, so starting today. And you can get this course for, I believe, it's something like $10 or $5. Like, it's the lowest that you can possibly get in your region, and the link is going to be down here in the description. So at any point during the live stream, if you want to go and get it in Udemy, you can go for it. There's also going to be a discount in Skillshare, but we're just uploading the stuff in Skillshare. It takes a little bit longer to upload to Skillshare, so just wait one more day and it's sure to be there as well. In this course, we go from absolutely nothing. Look at this, from absolutely nothing, from the very basic and bare bones blocking, all the way to the final construction of the character with textures and everything. So I think it's a really complete course. People have been asking about this for quite a while, which is like the continuation to the hard surface course. If you've taken the intro to Maya, or if you're taking the intro to hard surface modeling in Maya, this is like the next best course, which is a more advanced hard surface project that's going to take you to a very, very nice result right there. Are you a specialist for creature? Gia asks. No, I'm actually a specialist for characters. That's like my main focus. However, I consider myself a generalist because I can do a little bit of everything. I've talked about this before. Usually, if you're in a country where 3D is not as big as in like the United States, Canada, the UK, you might be better off being a generalist because you're probably gonna get more work that way. See, Mert, how are you, man? I know, it's a surprise. It's a surprise stream. That's why we're here. This thing is not. There we go. Perfect. Let's change the Huion settings. There we go. Cool. So, is this lion made with subdivision modeling? Yes, it is made with subdivision modeling. Actually, that's one thing that I forgot to render. I forgot to do a like a wireframe render, but this is done with subdivision modeling. It's meant to be for film or for commercial, so it is a little bit dense. I think without subdividing, it's like at 300,000 triangles, 400,000 triangles, and when you subdivide, it goes all the way to like 3 million or something. So it is quite heavy, but yeah. Maybe in the next couple of months, not this month, but maybe in the next couple of months, we'll do a course on how to rig this guy and maybe animate him a little bit. If you guys like that idea, let me know. Today, we're going to be working on this worm right here, and we're going to be improving a couple of things to make this piece even more, even cooler, okay? So, one of the things that I was talking to with Isaias, who is the original artist of this piece, he is my assistant here, he's helping me, was that it was important to create separation between the elements, and he did it properly here. As you can see, we have these spheres, which are like the inside of the membranes or something, and then on the character itself, we have all of these like little elements. What I think we can improve on is I'm gonna select a round brush right here, like Alpha 12, and I'm gonna separate the side plates a little bit more. So right here, I'm gonna start adding a little bit more volume. I'm gonna keep it clean. I really like the sort of like clean look that we have right here. So I'm gonna keep it clean, but I'm gonna like separate this thing a little bit more. Oh, my screen is black. Hear me? Yeah. Sorry. Thank you guys for letting me know. There we go. Sorry. Sir Wizard asks, hey Abraham, I find myself watching one tutorial after another. I'm confident in Maya, but my dream is to become a character artist for games. Any tips? I mean, Maya is definitely one of the main softwares that you need to know, especially for like UVs, retopology and stuff like that. But one of the main softwares that you need to learn and master is ZBrush. ZBrush or any other sculpting software, however, ZBrush is like the main one right now, is definitely going to give you a big edge when becoming a character artist, unless you want to be like traditional like Disney character artist, which is a lot of like subdivision modelings and stuff. But even then, most people that I know are also jumping into ZBrush. So if you haven't started your ZBrush career or your ZBrush journey, I would strongly recommend that you get the complete guide to ZBrush 2022, which we have on the sites, so that you can start learning ZBrush, because that one is really important for a character artist. Now, yesterday I had a talk with my concept artist, with Fox, who's been helping us with the concept artist for the courses, and we're already working on the next one, on the next course, which I think you guys are really gonna like. I'm not gonna say too much about it just yet. I'm just gonna tell you that we are working on it. So he's gonna be submitting the concept pieces during this next couple of days. And I'm gonna start recording this weekend, so that we can have a new course by the end of the month. We're not stopping, guys. We are not stopping. Yeah. As Pyramid Scheme says, you need ZBrush. It's non-negotiable. You need to do it. So see what I'm doing right here. What I'm doing right here is I'm using a little bit of clay buildup and a little bit of train dynamic to create a more obvious division between both plates of the element, okay? Or between like this top plate and the bottom plate. And this is important, especially because eventually we're going to be 3D printing this guy, and it's important to have variation in the silhouette. When you take a look at the character and you look at the silhouette is very important, because we as humans, the first thing that we notice on an object is the silhouette. So if the silhouette is very smooth, very round, like we had right here, then it becomes, I wouldn't say a boring silhouette, but it becomes a simple silhouette. And that's something that we might not want, okay? So to counteract that, we can use very simple tools, such as the move tool, for instance, and just push things a little bit higher than what you might expect. And that is going to change the silhouette and give you a more interesting effect overall. Let's see. Every tutorial I watch has a different view on topology for games. What is the right way to topologize for games? Well, you need to do quad topology. Pyramid Scheme is right that you need trees for games, but it's not like that. It's not like you need trees. What happens is you retopologize with quads, you rig and skin with quads, and then after you're done with the retopology and you export to the game engine, such as Unity or Unreal, you triangulate everything. Sometimes you manually triangulate stuff, sometimes you can do it automatically, it depends. But at the end of the day, any software, even Maya, at render time, everything becomes a triangle. So, but yeah, like for us as artists, it's a lot easier to work with quads, so that's why we try to do like proper topology, proper character topology inside of ZBrush. There's one course I did. It was one of the first courses, I think, which is the demon character creation for games or something like that. That has a full workflow. It's a little bit old. It's like 2 years old, so some of the softwares are a little bit outdated. However, the techniques for like anatomy and retopology and all that stuff is still perfectly valid. I love this model. Says this account is not upload. Yeah, thank you, man. This is not my model, actually. This is by my artist, my friend Isaias. He did the base of the model, and now we're doing some details to make it look a little bit cooler. Let's see, what other questions? Wow, your name is a little bit difficult. Yurgos Zafiropoulos. Are you from Greece? Yurgos? Your name sounds a little bit Greek to me, but I'm not sure. Greek names are really cool. Actually, there's a lot of really cool names out there. In Mexico, we just have like Juan and Jose. We don't have a lot of... Well, we actually do have some cool names as well. Greece, there you go. I got it. I knew it sounded Greek. How about modular kits? I really would love to see how you're going creating a little medieval city like that. That's a good idea. I'm not really an environment artist. We have one instructor that does environments. He did a environment series for Unreal a couple of months ago. That was pretty cool. He uses Unreal Engine 5 and everything. He shows like Substance Designer. It's really cool. You can check it again in Udemy or in Skillshare. I'm a little bit more of a character and props artist, to be honest. But I'm learning a little bit of that as well, so that I can teach you. I might not be able to do a full like a course, but I'm gonna try to do it in the YouTube videos. Oh, by the way, guys, I have a really cool surprise for you. For the next couple of days, not only are we gonna have the the discount, the 90% discount on the course, I'm actually gonna be sharing some of the videos free on the channel. So if you're on the fence, if you're like, I'm not sure, it's the first time I'm seeing this guy, is he really good or not? Oh, you can check the videos. They're gonna be like a free little test of the course, so you guys can can learn from it. So after this live stream is done, I'm gonna upload the first one, the first like free video from the course. It's 80, I think it's like 84 videos in total for the whole thing. Thanks, my friend. We're getting really close to 34,000 subscribers. I think we're like 100 subscribers away from that number, which is gonna be great. 34,000 subscribers. The goal, or my goal, is for my birthday, which is in August. I want to see if we can get to 40,000 subscribers. I think it's possible. I think it's a little bit ambitious, but I think we can do it. So we have March, April, May, June, July. So that's 5 months plus August. So if we get 1,000 subscribers each month until my birthday, we're going to be at 40,000 subscribers. No, we don't have any trim sheets yet, man. That's one of the topics that people have been asking for. And I'm thinking about, actually, that's something that I wanted to ask you guys. Normally, when I do the premium courses, they tend to be like long. I want to make sure I cover all of the information. Would you guys like small courses, like 5-hour courses, 10-hour courses, something like that? Even if it's just like a very simple topic. 'Cause I feel sometimes that might feel like it's not worth it, like economy wise. But if you guys are up to it, I could do like a trim sheet tutorial. It might only be like 5 hours or something, but we would be able to cover the specific topic. Thanks, Stitch. Glad you like it. Yeah, I feel very proud about the last couple of courses that I've been doing. Like the full character one. I really love the result for Thyros, the Tiefling. And then this one, I really like the result for the Lion. Yesterday, I went to the movies with my wife. We went to see Ant-Man. And on the trailers, they showed Transformers. The new Transformers movie that's coming, which has like the animal Transformers. Very cool. And of course, like this model is not up to the Transformer level, but I only spent like 20 hours on this model. Like imagine what we could do if we spent like 100 hours, 200 hours. I think we can get really close. I'm really happy. I'm really happy with how it turned out, to be honest. Pyramid Scheme says, yes, mini courses on a specific concept are helpful. Okay. That's cool. Bunty says, just please, little small courses are really good. Okay. Oh, good to know. Then yeah, we'll take that into consideration for the next. Maybe we could do like one big course and one small course throughout the month. Hu Kang Fung says, can you recommend a good course for Substance Painter? Yes. What kind of things do you want to do with Substance Painter? Characters, props, creatures? Like, is there a specific thing about Substance Painter you want to learn? I would like to see small courses like that. They're definitely worth it. Okay. That's great. It's great to hear. Yeah, and I was saying earlier, like, I personally am quite new at this whole, like, live streams and videos and stuff. So we're learning. We've been learning a lot about, like, thumbnails and interactions and how to get people to see our content and stuff. So So every single feedback that you guys can give me, the way I give you feedback on the portfolio review, now is your time to give me feedback on the video creation. And if there's things that you like or you don't like, let us know. Let us know, and I'll be happy to work on that as well. Well, the reading course is like, I think it's like 12 hours or something like that. That was cool. I like that one as well. One of the things that I like about the rigging course, and that was my main goal when I created it, was I wanted to make sure that you guys were not afraid of rigging, because rigging can be very intimidating. You feel like you don't really know what you need to do and stuff. But once you understand like the core concepts of rigging, it should be fairly easy to learn more stuff, right? Like you might not be able to learn all of the things that you want about rigging in that course. There's a lot of information, but we're still missing a couple of things. But at least again, you lose the fear of rigging, because I feel like, at least in my position, I was really scared of rigging when I first learned 3D, because it felt very, very intimidating. Okay, can you see how I'm changing the silhouette right there as well? Let's see. Everything on Substance Painter, please. There's not enough on it. It's very vague. Well, most of the courses that I do, for instance, the advanced character course that I just finished on January, that one has a lot of Substance Painter on the texturing phase. So that one is a good one if you want to focus a little bit more on characters. I show how to do skin and fur and metals and stuff like that. And then we have a couple of Substance Painters actually. Those I didn't do. It was one of the other instructors. I think it was Arash. And he explains like a lot of the cool tools about Substance Painter as well. If you go all the way back to my original course, the first course I did, which is a cinematic exterior scene, there's a lot of substance in there as well and some advanced stuff. So that one's also a good like pipeline workflow for the whole thing. Let's see. Let's take a look at some questions. Is portfolio review for everyone to submit? Yes, of course, it's for everyone, and the submission is already open. I don't have the link right now, but I'll make sure to upload it onto the next couple of videos. And we're gonna have the next portfolio review at the middle of March, so it's like in 2 weeks. Yeah, so the 11th and 12th of March is gonna be the next portfolio review, and you guys are gonna be able to. Anyone can submit, like anyone. Sir Wizard asks, do you mostly game pop and character work, or what does your daily work look like? No, actually, my main like work, or the main studio that I work at, I do a lot of teaching. So I would say like 50% of my day is about teaching, and the other 50%, the production part, we're doing a lot of VR and AR stuff for industry here in the city where I live. So we're doing a lot of like machines and like security stuff, and it's a very industrial city. We're in a city called Saltillo, which is in Mexico, in the north of Mexico, and there's a lot of like car factories over here. So they need a lot of like content to promote safety, promote quality, and stuff like that. So I don't do a lot of film for those elements. However, we also have some contracts. For instance, we're working with a museum here, which is called Museo del Desierto, and with them we do a lot of like games. We do like VR games and stuff. So that one's very, very fun. And of course, freelance work. I'm always a freelancer, so sometimes I get like contacts. I've been doing like jewelry. I've been doing like architectural visualization stuff. I've been doing logos. I've been doing. Right now, I'm working with another client. We're doing like a short, like a baby lullabies short, like Coco Melon sort of stuff. So yeah, it's a fun line of work, because there's like projects are always slightly different. Estevao Gelain says, do you know artists that are referenced for car modeling? No, not really. I'm not a car guy, to be honest. So I wouldn't be able to tell you. If anyone in the comments know, let Estevao know. Bunty says, can you suggest any course or tutorial about dungeon art? You mean like walls and like statues and stuff like that? We also need to do something there. I don't think we have something like it. Well, actually, again, we did an environment course not so long ago, and there was a little bit of concept stuff over there, or like it was like an abandoned ruins kind of stuff. Maybe you'll like that one. Hola, Abram, says Tinkmesh. Thanks for all the great content. You're welcome, my friend. You're welcome. Are you gonna texture and render this creature, or is it for 3D printing? It's for 3D printing. This one's for 3D printing, which is almost done. I think we're not gonna 3D print the base. I love the base, but I like to have more freedom on where to place my creatures. So I think we're not going to print the base. Now here, something that's very important is we do need to create a sort of like flat area, especially if we want this thing to balance, because it seems like he could be a little bit unbalanced. So we might need to cut it a little bit on the underside. But yeah, I mean, this one, like Isaias did a great job on this one. As you can see, I'm just changing like very basic stuff to improve a little bit of the silhouette, and that's pretty much it. Is this one also for your games? Yeah, we're probably gonna be using it for our games. Again, I didn't do the original model. I asked Isaias, who's my assistant right now, to do it. He's doing it as part of his practice, and he did a great job. How you manage assets library that we can use by 3-4 people? We have a server. So we have a local server and we have a Google Drive folder. So anything that's going to be shared, we upload to the internal server and to Google Drive. That way, if someone needs to use it, they can use it. If it's going to be work at the same time, that usually doesn't happen. Like, for instance, no one's going to be working on, let's say, like the tail of this worm at the same time I'm doing like the mouth. That would be a little bit ridiculous. So if I finish with the head, I'll just export the file, and whoever's going to be doing the tail will do the tail. That's how we normally work. For instance, we're working on some Unreal Engine projects, and we use GitHub as well to manage the files and all of the necessary things. So yeah. Currently watching your Maya Animation 22 course, man. Oh, that's great, man. That one is it's a really cool course as well for like an introduction level stuff. I've been thinking about doing a little bit more advanced animation, but unfortunately animation doesn't sell as well. So a lot of people want to do like modeling and stuff. Not a lot of people want to do animation, or at least not our like audience. But if you guys are interested in like a games animation, I think that could be another like fun project. Something weird is happening there. Let's see. Good morning. What's your next course gonna be, Sanju? I cannot tell you exactly what, but I can give you a couple of hints. It's gonna be for games. It's gonna be a long course. It's gonna be really cool. That's all I can say for now. As I was mentioning earlier, I'm working with Fox, the concept artist that's been helping us with what's the word, with all of the concept pieces. And we're like yesterday I sent him the reference of what we're looking for, some of the descriptions of the things that we want and stuff, and he's gonna be delivering the concept art in the next couple of days so that I can start recording. Let's see, where can we get a freelance work? That's a great question. I've heard people get freelance work from ArtStation. Like most of my stuff I got from ArtStation. I know there are some sites where you can kind of like bid or compete against other artists. Like let's say I need a character model, right? So I put up a announcement, and then you send a portfolio, and then I pick whoever I want. I think is it Fiverr or something? I think one of those is the one. But to be honest, most of my connections, or most of my work, most of my clients are local clients. So what happens is, you get called by someone, let's say like a random person, your uncle, your aunt, and then she or he is working on a factory or on a company, and they ask you to do something very simple, maybe just like a turntable or like a render or like a model. And then if you do it really well, people are going to ask them, hey, who did that? And they're going to give you your name, and that's how you get yourself to be know this, right? So by doing like small little things, you might end up like finding really big project, which is the way I started. I started freelancing in 2016, and that's how I started. Like someone just found me and they were like, hey, can you do this? And I was like, yeah, sure. I did it. They loved it. And then they kept on sending more work and more work and more work until we're like small studio right now. Did you release the new hard surface course in Udemy? Yes, first the course is ready. You can check the description here on the live, and it's gonna be right there. Carla Lopez says, "How would you consider doing a tutorial on general guidelines for modeling for different productions?" That would be a little bit complicated. However, Carla, we've had several like courses for like different things. For instance, this one that I just finished, the Lion one, that's for commercial and film. So it's gonna be really high poly, really high quality. We use UDIMs. We use like I think it was like eight UDIMs or something like that. So it's really high high density poly count and stuff. And then before that, I finished a character for games. So I showed the kind of stuff that you need to be working for games, but that was for like a AAA game. We have a stylized character for games course as well, which focuses a little bit more on like stylized approaches. So we pretty much have a little bit of everything. I think the only thing we don't have is like for products. We really haven't done like a course about product rendering. Like, I don't know, like watches, perfumes and stuff like that, because that's not really the line of work that I do. But we might consider doing something like that soon. Could you do a tutorial on modular environment for games? I'll think about it. Again, I'm not really an environment artist. I know my way around it, of course, but a lot of my skills are a little bit outdated, to be honest, because it's not the type of work that I do as much. Mobile game production. Yeah, I think mobile game production is a good idea. We really haven't explored that as much. Help me to manage assets. I don't know how to manage it. That will help other people's also. What do you mean by managing, Burhanuddin? Do you mean like technical stuff, like how many poly counts it should have, or polys, the size of the textures and stuff like that, or what do you mean by managing assets? More Maya animation courses. Okay, noted. I'll add that to the list as well. Tamil Vanan says, please, can you share how any team working in film industry like lighting, rig modeling, animation, VFX? Yeah. Okay, so let me give you a quick overview, Tamil Vanan. First of all, we have a meeting. Like right now, my team, the small studio that we have, like literally a couple of rooms from here, we're 6 people. Okay, 4 of those people are working on the project that I'm gonna talk about. So the first thing is we have a meeting. It's like, hey, we need to deliver this project. When's the due date? Okay, in this case, our due date is next month. So April the 2nd, or I think March 31 or something like that. That's when we need to deliver the project. We started on January. So we decide what we're gonna do. We take pick a topic. So this one is for the museum. We're gonna be doing something called Magical Desert, which is like this mystical, magical thing where you're gonna go on an adventure and see the desert from the eyes of the animals that live in it. It's like, okay, cool. That sounds like a good idea. We like it. Let's start planning out. And we take 1 or 2 days to plan out the whole schedule. Like who is going to be doing modeling? Who's going to be doing rigging? Who's going to be doing animation? When are we going to have the models? And we create a time frame. We create like goals for each week of how many things we need to do. And once we have that done, we just start working. My job right now with that team is mainly a supervisor. So I'm like a generalist or like production supervisor. Actually, that's my title, director of production. So I am just giving support to them. And if they have any issues or if they're having any complications with any part of the pipeline, I help them along. And every week we see like how they're doing, how they're advancing. And if we like how things are moving along, then we just keep going. If we get into a position where we don't know how to solve it, that's when I come into play and I try to find solutions for those specific like problems. That's our way to do it. We're a small team. We're just, again, like 5 people working on this project, so it makes it easier to manage. But if you're working in a big production, think of something like God of War or something like that, then things definitely change. Like it's a whole different like world and process. Burhanuddin says FBX and texture and all. Yeah, sure. So FBX is usually the most used file. Most of the projects that I've done for freelancing, they ask for the FBXs at the end. And the textures, I usually use Targus. Some people prefer PNGs. Almost no one likes JPEGs because they're not really great. So PNGs and Targus are usually the way to go. And the poly count, it all depends. If it's for a mobile game, then you're gonna be on low poly count. If it's for like a AAA game like Xbox and PlayStation or PC, then you're probably gonna be a little bit higher. Aryan says, my course is almost about to end. Something about the jobs has been bothering me from a few days now. As you've seen my work, can you tell me what approximate salaries to expect from the industry? So the salaries are going to depend on where you're working, so the country you're working at. I know that, for instance, in the United States, Canada, and the UK, you can get a comfortable salary for a starting position and then start like building your way up. Here in Mexico, we also have I would say, relative competitive salary. It's not the best, and it depends a lot on the project and the company you're going for. Sometimes, yeah, it depends. Sometimes like big companies don't offer like the greatest salaries. Small companies might be a little bit better, but then the prestige that you get from big companies is a little bit better. So it really, really depends. The best thing I can suggest is to look for statistics of like the median income and stuff like that for your specific country. So for instance, here in Mexico, we have one site, I think this is for all over the world, it's called Glassdoor. And with Glassdoor, you can get an idea of roughly how much an artist is going to be making. So yeah, it depends. But for you, my friend, because I've seen your stuff, you can definitely go for like a junior, not a senior just yet, but like a junior or a little bit above junior salary. Because you have a really, really good level. Especially you have a really good eye for like composition and lighting, which is rare. Let's see. Hey, CC says how to do game effects, character hit, attack, etc. All that's kind of, yeah. That's one of the courses I'm planning. It's gonna be coming later down this year. Effects for games for Unreal Engine. So like explosions and smoke and magic and stuff like that. We're gonna be doing something like that, but I need a little bit more time for that one. Thanks for sharing your experience and your knowledge. You're welcome, my friend. I'm happy to do it. Let's see. If Burhanuddin says, if for example other person needs model that I made, so I want to open Maya and export from there, and it's time consuming. So if there's a one place so he can take it from easily. Oh no, yeah, no, that's the way to do it. Like if you like, there are ways in which you can save stuff to like a server. So if you save it on your machine, it automatically gets updated to the server, and that way he can access it a little bit faster. But normally that's how you do it. You open the software, you export the model, and then you send it their way. Paras says, please answer my question. Yes, I'm a little good in drawing. Will I be able to become a good character artist? Drawing is not really necessary. It is a great tool to have. Like I for instance, I suck at drawing. I'm really, really bad at drawing. I'm relatively good at painting. I know my way around color, but for instance, lines and all that stuff, I can't do it. But I'm still like a very proficient character artist, I would say. And I am really good at sculpting though. Like I can do like quite like nice sculptures in real life as well. So traditional art skills are not necessarily like mandatory, but if you have them, they can be really, really, really good. Like it's a great bonus to have. So if you're good at drawing, that's great. Like I have one friend. His name is Kevin Lowell. He's in Indonesia. He was a fellow classmate with me, and he draws like freaking amazing. He's a great artist, and now he's a mauler. He's a great character mauler. I think he was working, last time I checked on him, he was working on the For Honor series. He was doing like armors and weapons and stuff like that. So you don't need to be great at drawing, but if you are, or if you're good at drawing, that definitely can help. In Maya or Houdini, says Keep. The effects, I am gonna be doing them in Unreal. I might be using a little bit of Houdini for some of the smoke stuff, but it's probably gonna be as much as we can do it inside of Unreal. Can you please do a course on Houdini grooming? I'm not an expert on Houdini, but I can ask our Houdini expert to see if he can do one of those. Houdini grooming. Do you know if knowing manual retopology and having the willingness to it greatly increases your chance of the job? I would say it does. I'm not sure if it's like greatly, but as a character modeler or as a modeler in general, you are expected to know proper retopology. Like that's one of the things that I personally value the most in my artists, like that they can like create things that look as nice as possible. So I would say if you want to do it like for real, like if you really want to be a modeler or a character artist, you definitely need to know how how to do like retopology. It's really, really important. I'm pretty sure with how fast AI is moving, I'm pretty sure that in the next couple of months or years, maybe we'll have some more advanced retopology tools that are gonna give us like super exact and precise a flow. But until then, having manual retopology is great. And you might still need to know manual retopology because even with automatic tools like Siri Measure and stuff, you always have like slight little issues here and there. So yeah, it's important that you know manual retopology. There we go. So as you can see, that's gonna be the cut right there. I just need to go to the spheres now. Bring the worm on, and I'm gonna cut that sphere right there as well. They need to be pretty much the exact same size. Perfect, something like that's fine. And that's it. I'm a little bit worried about the balance of the piece because as you can see, it's gonna be really heavy here in the front, and that make the whole thing fall down. So I'm gonna do a small little change here. I think we're getting ready to bring this into 3D printing. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do a Boolean mesh. I'm gonna turn on live Boolean, and then we're gonna go to merge, or sorry, to Boolean, and say make Boolean mesh. And now here we have the Boolean mesh. And then what we can do, there's a couple of things we can do. We can push the head back. Like if I mask this thing a little bit there, we can push the head back a little bit. It's gonna recover some of the balance. And then we can push the tail a little bit forward. Yes, we are stretching things a little bit, but it should give us a little bit more balance. Oh my god, what the hell is that? Let's dynamesh real quick. With a higher subdivision, like 400th. That should fix the holes. There we go. And that's also gonna make sure that this thing is watertight, which is really, really important for 3D printing. Getting bombarded by messages. Let's see. Matthias says it looks amazing. Rig it so it can be used for animation too. This would not work for rigging, Matthias, and the reason why this could not work or would not work for rigging is because it's already been modeled in a post fashion. Usually you don't want to rig something that's already post because it's very, very complicated. Or not very complicated, but it's more complicated. Rigging is difficult by itself. And then if we do this, let me lower the music a little bit. If we try to rig this, it's going to be even more complicated. So usually you model things in a T-pose. In the case of a worm, it would be pretty much just a straight line, and then we would rig it. Could I use this for Unity 3D as a statue? Yeah, maybe, or as a like piece or something. Like in D&D, they're doing a lot of like virtual tabletop things. So if I would just like retopologize and texture this, then yes, it could be used. However, right now we are almost at 4 million polygons. That's way too much for engines. Unreal could definitely handle it. So yeah, there we go. You guys want to see a little bit of the 3D software? Randomly Doodle says, I found Siri Measure. Arian says, is there any approximate salary for a junior environment artist in the US? I haven't like seen salaries in the US, but when I graduated, which was in 2016, as a junior artist, I think the like approximate amount was like $25 an hour. That was like the approximate amount, which is not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. I think like today it should be higher. It should be at about $30 maybe. Again, I'm not completely sure, but it should be around that range due to like inflation and stuff. Ephemera says, can we get some tips on creating and editing double-sided meshes or thickness? Sculpting and texturing can be tricky. Yes, of course. So if you're doing like a cape, right? There's two things you need to think about. Is the cape going to be flowing in the wind and moving and animating? If that's the case, then you keep it as a single plane. You're not going to be doing like both sides of the cape. There are ways to do a shader that has like different materials on both sides, so it could be like a dark cape on the outside and a red cape on the inside, but you usually want to keep it like a single sheet of polygons, so that the forms and the moves with the wind a little bit better. If it's going to be double-sided, I would say always go a little bit more on the thickness that you might think you need, because it's going to be a little bit easier to rig and to manage. If two faces are really close together and you rig them, it's very common to get overlaps, and those look really, really bad. Scepter says, I need to print it. Let's jump into 3D printing. I'm gonna say C plugin, Decimation Master. We're gonna pre-process this current worm right here. Yeah, exactly, Mert. If they decimate this and they bring the low poly into Unity or into Unreal and it's not gonna move, it's just gonna be like a piece that just translates, rotates, and scales, then yeah, it's perfectly fine. It might not look great, but if that's what you want to do, then yeah, it can be done. Like, you could even, like, for Unreal Engine 5, you could bring this high poly with nanite and do the exact same thing. You can't really do that in the, what's the word? In the Unity, but for Unreal, you could. So there we go. Let's export this thing. I'm gonna export to the desktop for now. Let's export this as an FBX. Hit save. Or sorry, not FBX. I made a mistake there. We need to export this either as an STL or as an OBJ, because the softwares that I'm gonna be using, which is Shadowbox, it doesn't really work with this. Michael Drew says, hi Abraham, I just finished your beginner ZBrush course and right now doing the advanced ZBrush character. Did you have any tips what to do after doing the course to improve my sculpting skills faster? If you can wait one more month until I finish the course that I'm going to be starting this month, I think that's going to be a great one to have for modeling and for sculpting. But if you can't wait, I would suggest the next part, which is I think I did a hard surface for ZBrush. That one's really good. You could also try the demon character creation for games. I think those are good ones to try out. Do you know how to make realistic bone material in ZBrush, or would it be in Substance Painter? If it's for texturing, you're definitely gonna be. Oh, I closed it. If it's for texturing, you're definitely gonna be doing it inside of Substance Painter. However, there are some madcaps that look really close to bone. Now, ZBrush 2023 actually has Redshift if you're subscribed to the Maxon thing, and it can render things that look really nice, like actual bone. So technically you could do it. However, I haven't really done it, to be honest. Cool. So here we're gonna import our worm, and the first thing we need to do is find the proper size, because as you can see, that's tiny, 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 tiny. So I'm gonna load another little character here from my collection. Oh, actually, my collection is not open right now. What can we do? Okay, let's load this lurk. So you guys remember this lurk, right? This lurk is the... Let me cancel that. Where is this lurk? It should be on our projects. So this lurk is the little frog that we did. Well, not little. It was quite big. There we go. That was the original size of this lurk. So I want the worm to be probably like half the size. Oh, so let's grab the worm. Let's scale it to 300. No. 600. That's a little bit better. 800. There we go. That's really cool. So that's the size of the giant worm. Because the character is going to be like roughly this size. So this right here looks really, really cool. Now, usually, especially for like spiky stuff like that guy right there, you want them to be pointing up or like at a 45-degree angle so that the whole thing can print a little bit better. Let's see. The High Fly says, have you ever looked at Teia Conceptor's unique sculpting system? No, I have not. Let's take a quick look. Teia Conceptors. What's this? Oh, interesting. I mean, it looks interesting. I'm not sure how to adapt this to production. And that's always the question. Like, whenever you see a new tool, sometimes there's a lot of really, really cool stuff, but you need to see how easy it is to adapt it to production. So, for instance, this thing right here, right? Like that's a great kit. Like, that's just amazing. But then, like, once you have the whole, like, robot assemble, how easy is it to UV? How easy is it to have proper topology? How easy is it to rig? Because if it's just for concept, then yeah, that's great. Concept artists can use this tool really, really cool. But if it's for production, that's a different story, right? So, but it looks cool, man. This looks like a cool tool. Is it free? Oh, it is free. I mean, if it's free, go for it. If it's free and you can, like, export FBXs and stuff like that, use it. Any tool is valid. Now, remember, we talked about this before a couple of days ago. Not every studio will allow you to download every piece of software due to security issues, due to licensing issues. So sometimes I've seen artists that are really good at doing specific types of things. And when I ask them, like, hey, can you do that with Maya or Blender or ZBrush? And it's like, no, I can only use the softwares that I use. If we can't have access to those softwares, then unfortunately the skill is not as valid, I would say. Let's have some supports here to the other side. It's a little bit heavy. It's heavy-headed, but that's fine. Let's go right there. There we go. Now the main thing I want to check is make sure that we're not missing any like big islands. I'm gonna add some light supports. For instance, see how that island needs a little more help. It's a really big area and just one single support. It always scares me when we only have one single support. It's always best to have just a couple more. Yes, we're gonna have a little bit more like marks and details on the object, but I prefer a successful print rather than a perfect print. It's just my personal way of seeing this. That little guy right there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything else seems to be taken care of. So yeah, I'm just gonna add some extra supports on the side to give stability to the whole piece. These are small supports, so they're gonna be barely noticeable. Right there. That's not really an island, but it's really close to one, so it might not be a bad idea to support it with a couple of edges here and there. That's it. So with that, our little worm here is supported. Let's print a couple more. By the way, guys, I'm gonna make this available and also the what's the word? I'm gonna make this guy available and this lurk available in Gumroad. I'm gonna share the link in the next couple of days. It's free. It's free for anyone who wants to grab it. Let's see. Kato says, can I bake bevel edges of high poly on hard edges of low poly, or do I need to give one bevel edge? You need one bevel edge. Like, if you have a perfectly straight 90-degree edge and then you have a bevel, like, there's no physical way where this corner right here can properly catch the bevel, so that you at least need one bevel on that guy right there. Look up polybrush table. The video doesn't show its workflow. Okay, I'll look. Give me just 1 second. Maya versus Blender. Your opinion for industry, Maya, for indie, Blender. Like, Blender is really good, guys. Like, I was not a Blender fan a couple of years ago, but now I'm a convert and I love Blender as well. It's really cool. Absolutely no rush. I'm in 23 minutes plus, but would like you to look up polybrush table on YouTube just so you can see its actual sculpting workflow. Okay, let's look for it. It's what? Polybrush table. Like this stuff right here? Well, this was 6 years ago. That's a little bit old. Let's see. That's 4 years ago. I haven't uploaded a lot of stuff, to be honest. I mean, it looks cool, but again, the question is, how easy would this be to transfer into into an actual production ready asset? Because for just basic concepting, this looks really nice, really fun. It's pretty much like insert multi-mesh things here inside of ZBrush, so you can do something similar. But yeah, it's how do you convert this into something that's usable? Maybe for 3D printing that would be great, but for games and stuff, it might be a little bit complicated. It can remesh properly inside ZBrush. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Yeah, like again, any type of software can be quite useful if you can make it work in your pipeline, but it's not the same for it to work on your personal pipeline that it is for it to work on a studio pipeline, right? You've joined the dark side. Yeah, kinda. I've been using Blender quite a bit. We were having some issues at the university where I teach, because people were having issues getting their student licenses from Maya, so we switched to Blender. And again, for indie stuff and for like personal stuff, for just like a freelance work, it can do a lot of stuff. I do think the animation suite is a little bit like weird compared to Maya. I definitely prefer Maya's animation tools, but it's not a bad software. It's quite nice. Can you make a series of making a small animation including all the steps like modeling, texturing, sculpting, and creating an environment as well as rigging? Noobs, I have a great news for you. We already have that. You can look for our complete guide to Maya 2023. And we have this little guy right here. Where is it? You can look it up, but it's this little guy right here. It's a small little like a short where this guy like touches the Jenga tower and the Jenga tower just falls. And I show you how to do every single thing. We go over all of those things that you just said. We go over modeling, texturing, rigging, animation, rendering, even a little bit of post-production inside of After Effects. And I show you how to do this whole thing. We look at Xgen, we look at displacement, we look at modeling. It's one of the most complete series I've ever done because I show you how to do this whole like little room and animation completely from scratch. So yeah. That one's ready. Like, you can watch it right now. Did you use Nomad Sculpt? I've used it before. I don't love it. And, well, it's not that I don't love it. It's a good software, but I've been using ZBrush for 10 years. So, like, I don't see a reason why to change to Nomad when I can do the same thing with ZBrush. There you go, 45 minutes. Yeah, if you want to get into modeling, that course that I just showed, the Introduction to Maya, is really, really good. And after you're finished with that one, you can jump onto the one that we just released today, which, by the way, is at a discount for all of you guys haven't seen. Right now, we are running a 90% discount on this character right here, which is the mechanical creature making for production. It's a 20-hour course, and you can get it on the description. There's a link on Udemy, 90% off for the next 5 days. The name of the other series is Complete Guide to Maya 2023. The little robot dude, that was Complete Guide to Maya 2023. This is creature... or mechanical animal making for production. I think that's the name we gave it. But the other one, AI Lab, that one is Complete Guide to Maya 2023. You can find it in Udemy as well. Let me show you guys because Udemy Nextut. There we go. We have so many courses. I think we have like 60 courses, 64 courses. There we go. So this one, Complete Guide to Maya 2023. This one is, like it says, a complete guide to Maya 2023. We go over every single thing. This guy right here, Complete Guide to Marvelous Design, is also a really good one. And then the other one, the one that we just released, it should be around here, but since it's new, sometimes it gets buried down into the elements right here. It should be around here, but that's the Lion one, the new Lion one. Someone was asking about the environment. This one, a Game Environments Art Masterclass. This one is really good as well for like ruins and dungeons and stuff. This is I didn't do this one, but one of our instructors did, and it's really, really cool as well. This complete modular environments in Unreal Engine 5, also really cool. So yeah, guys, if you make a jump into Udemy, you're gonna find so many options for you to learn the 3D stuff. That's what we want to do as an organization, as a studio. We provide you with the best possible content so that you guys can learn all of the techniques that you want to become better and better artists. Thank you, Mert. Thank you for the suggestion there. So Well, that's it, guys. I gotta go because I got some stuff to do over here, but it's been an amazing time. Thank you for being here with me throughout this surprise live stream. As I mentioned, I'm gonna be uploading some videos about this guy, free videos for you to watch. And if you want to check the full course, make sure to go into the link down here in the description so that you can learn how to make this amazing creature. Yes, Matthias, if you're not into modeling, you can definitely jump into the animation part. I would suggest you jump into the rigging part first and just grab the character from there, rig it, and then animate it. That will be the ideal thing. Thanks, guys. I will be seeing you back on another live stream on Monday. So AI Live, if you have more questions and you want to ask them live, you can ask them on the live stream on Monday. If not, on any of the videos, on the comments of our videos, you just leave the question and I'll be happy to answer it as well. That's it, my friends. Thank you very much. I'll see you back tomorrow for the announcement of the winners, okay? So that's it, and I'll see you back on the next one.